Hey y'all, hey.
Hey y'all.
Welcome back.
Welcome
back. Welcome back. I'm going to sing on this. There's no singing on this podcast.
There is.
No, I do not.
Do how you feel.
That doesn't give you license to sing.
Do how you feel.
I'm Crystal.
And I'm Alisa.
And we are
That's right.
your favorite sister podcast. All right. I was eating pecans earlier and I really feel like they're in my mouth.
They're in your mouth now?
Mm-hmm. It's all good. So anyway, we are your favorite sister podcast, your favorite parenting podcast, your favorite Christian podcast, your favorite relationship podcast. All in one. Black girls, black girling. All right, we're going to jump in. We're going to jump in. I want to talk about something, about how much y'all hate the way I raise my kids, which is, I have raised productive citizens.
Absolutely.
I've raised amazing, like for real, amazing kids.
I agree.
But
totally.
People listen to them reels and they're like, especially men. First of all, I just, can we talk about how many men take time out of their days when they should be working to take care of the world, right? Take time out of their day to comment on my post, on a link of reel.
1 minute reel.
I cannot imagine being a man with the weight of the world on my shoulders and wanting to tell a black woman that she is stupid and raising some sort of psychopath or whatever.
Based off of a 1 minute reel.
Look, Lisa gonna say based off of 1 minute reel every time. She be mad. I think it's hilarious. But y'all, it seems like just based on the number of people that are commenting, there's a way you guys believe, there is a way you should raise boys and a way you should raise girls. And you feel it's different?
I feel like it's different.
Do you?
Yeah, I feel like it's different slightly for me, but for me, I think it's unintentionally different.
Okay.
I don't think that before I had kids, I said, I want to make sure that I raise my boys like this or my girls like this. I think it kind of just happened
real fast. So Lisa and I have the benefit of having boys and girls.
Yes.
So we've raised and adults, right? And the ability to look and see the effect of what we did on them. Go ahead. Sorry.
Absolutely. Mm-hmm. So yeah, she has majority boys. I have majority boys, and we both have. We have one girl.
I am a blended family.
Biologically. My bad. My bad.
Yeah, so I have majority girls in my blended family.
You're absolutely right.
And so 4 girls, 2 boys. But the people who came from my body, 2 boys, 1 girl.
Yeah.
Okay, tell me your story. Tell me what your thoughts.
So I raised them the same. Like they have the same rules. They have the same foundation. So, when they were younger, I made sure that, we talked about this in one of the episodes. I made sure that there was a schedule. I made sure that they went to bed at a certain time. I made sure that they ate at a certain time. When the lights were out, they had to be home at a certain time. So there was rules.
You did the street lights?
Oh yeah.
That's interesting.
I didn't play by the street lights. That's how I was raised for sure. But after dark, once you got past a certain age, then the street lights didn't matter. But probably up until about maybe 13, 14. Yeah, you had to be home before the street lights. So there were definitely rules within the house that all kids have to abide by. But I think that for me, it's based on the personality of the child, of the kid. So I do believe, and I will say that there was a difference with my girl and my first two, my girl and my boy. So with Maya, I didn't know this before I had kids. I didn't know how. I just knew I wanted a girl. I was going to do her hair. I was going to dress her up all pretty. That's all I knew. But as I'm raising her, I know that I was way harder on her than I am or am with my boys. And I don't know, I guess it's just because for girls, I don't ever want her to get in the case where she is naive or getting manipulated or I just wanted her to grow up with that woman empowerment, with that confidence, So I was really stern. I was really stern, and I'm not even gonna say really strict, but I didn't tolerate as much with her. I talked to her real. I didn't baby her when she was growing up. I don't think that I spoiled her. She got what she wanted, but I didn't spoil her. I wasn't picking her up all the time. She barely even cried, and if she cried, I would almost tell her you're not bleeding while you crying, So I was real tough and stern on her. Whereas with Elijah, and I think we have like some really kind of similar stories,
Right.
but even with Elijah, I had more of a soft spot for him because I feel like, I guess with boys, I'm a woman, like I want to love them. I want them to know, like how a girl is supposed to really love them and treat them. So with Elijah, I felt like I had to raise him or treat him a little different because as a young child, he did not have anybody. Like Amaya was more, I think we talked about this, like Amaya was more celebrated. Like she had cousins, girl cousins. She had friends at a young age. Elijah was just Elijah. We didn't have a big family where he even had cousins, like boy cousins. He had only had girl cousins growing up, period. It was just really just Elijah. So he didn't really get to exude himself or kind of figure himself out until he got older, and started meeting friends maybe in middle school or high school.
Oh, wow.
So like he really never had like a cousin, boy cousin, or anybody to cling on to. So I had a little soft spot for Elijah. And then I feel like when I made the transition from their father, I feel like Elijah was the one that kind of was mostly impacted. Like he was the one that was mostly hurt.
How old was he?
He was 4.
Okay.
Yes, he was 4, and he had a lot of emotion about it at 4 years old. So because I know that the hand that he was dealt, I was more lax and a little lenient on him, and so there will always be battles in the household between my daughter and my son, my oldest 2, where Amaya would kind of check me, and we talked about this in one of the episodes about. Well, you let Elijah do this, but you won't let, me do that. And, sometimes it's kind of hard to explain or hard to explain to another child, why you do the things that you do. But for Elijah, I had a soft spot for him. So he kind of not got away with a lot of different things because he wasn't a bad child at all.
Right.
He was actually a really good boy. Really good child. Teachers always called, had nothing but good things to say about him. But it was just certain little in particular things that he just wanted to do what he wanted to do, and like that darn room. Cleaning the kitchen.
I knew this was going to cleaning up. I knew that Lisa has an obsession with cleaning up.
Out of all my kids, that is the worst. He would not listen when it comes to that. I don't care what I do to him. I just don't care. But he never got like. I started off kind of disciplining him, like taking things from him, taking his phone. And my son was just so nonchalant, it didn't even care. Like he would be without a TV and just be in the room. And I'm like, I would try to figure out what's wrong with, what is wrong with my son? Like he showed no emotion, didn't care. Whatever I did to punish him, it never resulted in anything, like there was never no lesson learned behind it, So I'm not gonna say that I gave up on him, but you just gotta know your child.
Right.
You gotta just know what you can play with, whatever. So I feel like raising kids is based on their personality. So like all my kids have different personalities. So even with the youngest, my 9-year-old, I think he's a boy. So I raise him differently. I raise him differently than all my other kids because all my other kids say, we didn't get to do that when we was younger. We didn't even get to talk like that when we was younger. So
you feel like you tired now too, though?
It could be. You've
been a mama for 20 years. Okay.
So once you get down to that 4th one or the youngest one, that youngest one get to do whatever they want to do. Like all fair game. And the other older kids looking like, Mama, when I was 5, I had to go to sleep or whatever. But my youngest child, I have a little soft spot for him because he growing up felt, he's like more combative. Like he wants to prove his point all the time. But that's because he has older siblings that think they know everything, that don't give him the credit that he deserves, that kind of challenges him. So he grows up like everything is like he got something to say. It's a snapback. And so my kids be like, Jalil got like an attitude problem. I'm like, no, it's because he's trying to prove himself to y'all because y'all are challenging him too much, and he's the kid.
He's the
take
baby.
your time, explain yourself. But I cope with him a little different too, and I don't know. It could be a sign thing too. All my kids, they have different signs, and so he's an Aries like me, and boys Aries are a little different. So he's a little emotional too. So I don't know. It's just to me. It just depends on the child. I don't really think that it's a boy versus girl thing. I just think it's the personality of the child to how you raise them. So moving on to you, sis.
Going on top for 3 minutes.
Yes, you know how Lisa
I'm done. No, I agree, 100%. So I haven't raised genders, right? Like I've raised children, so I know that even my family will say like I baby Chris, and so I have two boys and one girl that I actually raised on my own, right? And so I have MJ is the oldest at 24, Chris is 21, Katie is 20. So with Jay, and Jay has just always been very independent. I mean, he was a very clingy little boy. He's my firstborn, very clingy, cried all the time. He was so spoiled. Jay, so spoiled. So he wasn't like bad as a little kid, but he wanted what he wanted. And so like if I was at the grocery store and he would cry as soon as we got in there, and I would have to hurry up and give him something to get through the store.
Oh, wow.
Jay.
I didn't know that.
And Jay is like the greatest kid you've ever met.
You wouldn't even think that.
But when he was a little kid, like this is when he knew every word to the movie Friday, because that's the only way he would go to sleep.
Oh, wow.
So I'm super mom. No. When he was little, I'm 20 years old. And he wouldn't sleep, like 22, 23. He wouldn't sleep, and I would have to put that on for him. So he would, about 3-ish, he would get his little chairs out and say, okay, mommy, you be Craig, I be Smokey. And he could recite the entire movie, the entire thing.
Wow.
Jay.
Wow.
My son is so clean cut and so whatever now, but and I had to make him stop watching. And I remember one time I'm old, so DVDs.
Yeah,
for whatever reason, I let my daddy borrow the DVD. And that's when I realized he couldn't go to sleep without it, because I would let him watch it, but I didn't realize it was like a lullaby to him.
Yeah.
That brother would not go to sleep.
Wow.
Midnight, he was up. I want to watch Friday. I called my daddy. I said, I need to come to your house, pick up Friday. He was like, put that boy in the bed. I was like, he won't go to sleep. He was like, are you crazy? So I went to the video store on Memorial Drive, midnight, and bought Friday for my son.
Wow.
And so put it on. We got back home. He was asleep. Wow. But this is like, it was kind of anything he wanted. I only took it from him because when he was 4 years old, I saw he was pretending to smoke. We were at church. This is what happened. Okay. We were at church with his dad, and he's rolling up the offering. No. And I'm not kidding. And neither one of us smoke. Like, that ain't even our thing. He's 4, rolling and licking the offering envelope. And I was like, oh my God, people gonna think, I'm doing drugs in front of my kids. I snatched it from him. I was like, no more Friday. Yeah. And I told him, I was like, you can't watch it no more. And he was like, he didn't understand why. He was like, okay, whatever. So a couple of days went by and he was just like crying for this movie. So I let him, we said, okay, cool. But you have to understand, smoking is bad. You cannot smoke, talking to him, whatever. He is behind the door one day. I walk into the room. He's behind the door with a rolled up piece of paper. I said, what are you doing? This brother said, blowing out a candle. But I knew what he was doing. Yes. And I'm like, I can't send you to school acting like you smoking, because they're gonna come to my house like they're doing something in front of this kid. I mean, which I'm obviously letting your kid watch a rated R movie. Shout out to Chris Tucker. Right. So no, but it was so cute, so ghetto. Like I'm definitely from Decatur. So, but that was his story.
Yes.
But that was like by the time he got 4 and went to school one day, he used to suck his thumb. All my kids suck their thumbs. He used to suck his thumb. And one day I was at a parent-teacher conference at pre-K, and they were like, he just washes his hands so much. And so I was like, oh, probably because he sucks his thumb. They were like, he sucks his thumb? He was not sucking his thumb at school. He had the presence of mind to not to do that here. Mm-hmm. But he used to suck his thumb in public. That wasn't it. I don't know what about being at the school. He wouldn't do it. They were so shocked or whatever. But he grew up into this just amazing, you heard Chris talk about it, like an amazing, amazing big brother. Mm-hmm. And I didn't have this, always a straight A student, always the head of the class, a leader, always very, very vocal. He knew what he wanted to do. Mm-hmm. I remember, so he's always been an actor. He's always been a vocalist and a pianist. And he was in this musical thing at school, like a club or whatever. And they were taking these trips, going to Africa and whatever. So my son is a beast. Jay is a beast. Everywhere he would go, when they would perform, he would get so there was a woman there whose daughter was amazing. Oh my God, this girl was so good. She was so amazing. So when she would perform, she would get like standing ovations. Well, they didn't have like someone on her level before Jay joined the group. So he joins and he starts getting all the attention. So they start like not doing his acts when they would go around the city performing. And it was a school, they came out of the school or whatever. So one day I picked him up after practice and he was like, they were preparing to do this big thing at the school where he would do, Just Can't Wait to Be King was his song, one of his songs. So he comes out. He's 8 years old. And I was like, how was practice? He was like, I'm not doing it anymore. I said, Jay, what do you mean? He's like, I'm done with it. And I was like, did you tell them? He's like, send an email. I was like, you can't drop out right now, dog. Like, y'all have this performance. I'm not letting you drop out or whatever. But he did. But he was always like very just intention and, just a leader and very he would stand up for himself and make decisions for himself, And so I ain't really had no problems out of him. Caught him watching porn at 15.
Oh, okay.
That thing broke my heart.
15!
15!
Yeah.
That's young to me. The whole time his dad is like, who cares? And then he went to LA, he moved to LA at 17 or 18.
So stop there though. Raising girls versus boys, 15. You caught that. So you was little
I cried about it.
Did you talk to him or do you feel like that was something that the dad needed to do?
No, Galen talked to him.
Galen talked to him, so you stayed out of that.
Yeah, no, I told him that he was crazy and I was taking his phone.
Okay.
And God is watching you.
Okay.
But I do not have the opinion that, boys will be boys. That I ain't never been that mama.
Okay.
So I've not, 8th grade, some little girl kissed him, his little girlfriend, and I was like, we don't do that. Like, I told you we don't do that over here. So people thought that he was like just no, I'm raising him different. You know what I'm saying? So but I never had any issues out of him at all. He was going to always do the right thing. Chris, on the other hand, first of all, that boy, we called him pig in the china shop. The boy was destructive. And he is his mother's child. So he gonna talk all day in class. Like he wasn't intentionally disobedient. So he didn't go to school trying to be whatever, but he wants to talk. And I tell the story about he wants to tap on, he was a drummer. So he'd be in that doggone classroom, tap, 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 and teacher taking the pencils. He lost his birthday party behind drumming on desk, But, and I'll come back to Chris because I think that he got a softer version of me.
Okay.
And Kennedy, you hate to say this because if somebody say something about my child, I might lose my stuff. But Chris said it, like Kennedy's literally like a perfect child. Like she's done things to get on my nerves.
Yeah.
It don't get no better than KD. Like from a little girl, she just didn't bother nobody. Chris used to fight Kennedy because they're 10 months apart. Lord help us all. So Chris used to go and just do things to her, like take her pacifier. And
do what brothers do.
Kennedy was fighting him at 1 year old because she had to like stand her ground.
Yes,
But Kennedy like never played with dolls, never did any of that stuff because she had brothers. So her fun was, because remember we were poor. So they all shared a room for a very long time. So her fun was literally, she would sit on her bed and watch them play.
Oh.
And that was her.
Yeah.
She got, and MJ was so great. He used to make up stories for them and tell them at night. And it wasn't until they got older that they realized, because he would tell them it was real. So they had like the kindergarten adventures, and they would just tell each other. Well, he would tell them stories, and they loved it so much. And they would make music together, make songs. So my house was like, always full of music or whatever. Oh, great kids.
Yes.
But Kennedy was just a good kid. Great in school. She could play by herself. She's always been really independent and really like, I'm good with me. Like, I'm good with who I am. You know what I mean? And so Jay and Katie were always celebrated. So Jay was always head of the class. He was the kid who could sing. He was really attractive. He was, for all intents and purposes, I love you, MJ, like kind of like people, kind of nerdy, right? And so... But I used to tell him, like, you have talent. And I remember in 8th grade, he was like getting bullied. And I was like, or 6th grade. He was getting bullied. And I was like, do they know you can sing? It's like, you have a singing battle. No.
Oh my God.
I really was like,
Bring your talents out.
Well, first I said, I'm taking you out to school, because that was me. He was like, no, I'm going to stick it out. Like, that's the kid he was. He was like, you don't need to take me out of the school. I'm going to stick it out. So at the end of Christmas, I go to the school for the Christmas party. I was a parent volunteer, and he was going to go to, there was a room where you could do karaoke and a room where you could play video games. And so he, of course, goes to the video game room. I'm like, you need to come do karaoke. So he came and did karaoke, and he sang My Girl. Everybody lost it. No more bullying. His whole year changed after that because he was a kid who could sing. And so when I explained that to him, I was just like, and he only sang one song and he went to the video room. But I was like, bring what you have, right? And maybe that wasn't the best, but all of the bullying and stuff stopped. But he's always been such a big deal. He's all in everywhere. He was governor's honors program. Like, he has always been such a big deal. Kennedy, same thing. She has always been such a big deal. She was a competitive cheerleader, so we're traveling all over the place. She stepped on a stage. She was the last person tumbling, which because she was the best. She could fly. She was always a big deal. She stopped cheerleading, and then she started baking. And she stopped cheerleading to me prematurely, but they were making, like, they changed cheerleading coaches. She had made it. She made the captain of the squad. They changed coaches. She wanted another tryout. And Kennedy said, I'm not giving him one more day. She was like, she can either put me on this squad and keep me as captain, or I won't cheer. That girl stopped cheering in 9th grade. Wow. She refused to do it. And she was like better than everyone because she had been training since she was 3. So she completely stopped cheering and went into she started baking at 10 years old. But she is the best at everything, right? And she's been celebrated. She's won all these awards. And then Chris. So Chris this is his older brother, and this is his younger sister. Chris is magnificent. He is magnificent. His energy is so beautiful. Like, you meet Chris and you just, he's gonna light up your life. But he hasn't been met with the same celebration. And so I celebrate all of my children. I don't look at MJ and like, you got enough. I'm like, no, yes, that's my son. Like, I'm the woman at the school while he's singing, sing, baby. I don't care how quiet it is. I'm going to stand up. I'm going to act the fool when you get an award or whatever. And Chris is who made me realize it was important because because he's used to sing too, right? So they all took vocal lessons or whatever. So it was the whole thing. So he used to sing, and he got to sing at school, and he was like, I can't wait for you to scream, sing, baby. He was like 8 years old. So it's like, no, this matters to them, and it's not embarrassing to them. And so literally, even though I was already doing it, I became more purposeful in doing it because it's the celebration. And so Chris has, like, MJ's an actor. He's been on TV. He's been in movies. He's experienced so much success. Kennedy is a baker. He's got scholarship to school. She's won, competitions. And Chris's dreams, he got hoop dreams. And it's like he has been hit over the head his entire life. He has been beat down for existing. If he was doing something wrong, I'm going to be the first one. Like, when he wasn't practicing, I'm like, you trying to be good and you on this game. Get out there and practice.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right? Like, so I am going to push him the way nobody is going to push him. But when he is out there in the world and he is met with so much adversity, and I know what he's going through, I know his internal struggle, because Chris will say, Chris, my children are best friends, and I'm thankful for that. Like, they love each other like it is wild. The way that they love each other is so beautiful. So there is no jealousy or envy or anything. But he has said, like, you can't even be proud of me. Like, you're so proud of MJ and KD. You can't even be proud of me. And I'm like, dog, like, he said that to me in this last year. I'm like, are you crazy? I'm proud of your little ghetto music. I'm proud of, like, you're making music. Like, I'm proud of that. I'm proud when I see people put you on their blogs for your fashion. Like, that's my kid. I'm proud of you coming home and telling me, like, yo, I was talking to so-and-so about God, and, and they're, I'm proud of you deciding that you're going to date these women and still be a virgin. Like, I'm proud of that. I'm proud of the man of God you are. But it's like, people are like, so I am softer with him because the world has been so, I don't want to say unfair, but it's been hard on my baby. he has tried so hard. And it's like, MJ tried, I succeed. Kennedy tried, I succeed. Chris tried, and they like, you wish. And it's just like, he's like, I know what the Lord told me. This is a lot for me. So you think his mama is not going to be soft with him? You think because the world, because you hear those comments like, well, the world ain't going to be nice to your son. Y'all sound mad stupid. You sound like you hate your kids. There is no way I am going to know that the world is hard and not give him a soft place to land.
Amen.
And so you're around here trying to toughen them up so they can make it in the world. And now they don't have a mom who loves them. And the world don't love them. And they out here by themselves. And I refuse to have that. So I've been softer with Chris. And Jay and Katie don't care because they soft with Chris. Like, it's weird. Even Kennedy, growing up, they got to clean the room. Everybody have their little thing to do. Kennedy will tell Chris, little girl, she kills me. Don't worry about it, Chris. I got it, Chris. That's 4 years old. What is her problem? What is it? But she gonna have his back. MJ gonna have his back. And that's who, and I have to, Chris pissed me off so bad when he misses his flight to New York. And I had to buy him another ticket. And I called, because I knew he was going to call MJ, because that's who we go to. I called MJ. I was like, yo, don't baby him. Do not baby him. Chris knows better. He stayed all night with that little girl. And then I'm paying $1,000 for you to change tickets, but God is good because they only charged me $100. But and I'm like, the only reason you're going, because Kennedy would lose her brain if you didn't come up there for her birthday. But MJ was like, yo, I don't baby Chris. I call him on his stuff. And so, because I don't really know, I want them to be able to have that sibling thing. Yes, so I don't really pry into what they talk about, but he was like, yo, that's not what I'm doing over here. And so even recently, Chris bought a jacket Friday or Thursday. Chris bought a jacket, paid a little money for it. Jacket had some sort of satanic symbol on it when he got it. That brother was hurt because he's fashion is his thing. Yeah. So he waited a while for the jacket. He was like, "Yo, it's got this on it," and I was like, I'm not into I don't know everything, right? The kids know all the satanic stuff, whatever. So I was like, okay, you can't love fashion more than God. So I called MJ to laugh at him about it. And I was like, your brother is bugging. He was like, yo, he called me. So Jay called him and was like, he was so excited about the jacket. He was like, yo, that's got a pentagram on it. And so he was like, you can't wear that? And he said, Mom, I started not to say nothing. I started to let him rock out. But I was like, no, that's my charge. I got to tell him he can't do that. And Chris put the jacket up for sale. And so, but he respects Jay. Yes. Like I said, there's no envy there. Yes. And everyone rallies around Chris. And that's why my son ain't had no breakdown. But because he journals, like he tells me stories about like just how hard it's been for him and how he just be crying out to God and feel like God don't hear him. You know what I'm saying? And so it's just like MJ cried out to God. Because when MJ called me crying, because he hadn't booked after being in LA for 8 months. And I was like, yo, we about to fast and pray and you gonna book, I bet you book this week or before the end of this month. That was February 26th. He booked Queen Sugar March 3rd. So you have that type of example and you like, but it's not happening for me. And I know God is real, but it's not happening for me.
He's still in that waiting period.
He's still in his waiting period.
Definitely
And I asked him, I said, have you ever, gotten to a point where you don't trust God? He was like, no, God, all I got. It just don't feel good. Just don't feel good. And so I'm going to always ride for him.
Absolutely.
And I always ride for all of them, but I'm going to always, you ain't going to never get me to be like, be tough on your son when the world is beating him over the head. And I don't think your kids should have a soft place to land. They should not feel like I got beat up here and I can't go to my mama because she's going to be like, if I'm soft to you, you're not going to know how to be later. That's mad weird. It's like you had kids to bully them. I don't want to bully my kids.
No.
Like
just want to love on them.
That's it.
That's all I want to do.
But you do the whole, I went off on a tangent. The whole point of of this was like I don't think there's a difference in how you raise boys versus girls. I think there is a difference in how you raise each child.
Yes.
And I do think some parents get caught up in this is the way I want my kid raised, and you haven't tapped into who your child is. And then you wonder why there's a disconnect, right? Because I don't got to cuss MJ out. Like, look, MJ left for LA because I wasn't no cussing mama. Chris
At what point you wasn't no cussing?
Oh no, I didn't cuss in front of my kid. Like I might say like little stuff, but not for real. I will cuss you out now. And so MJ came home on a break, and he was like, "What happened to mom?" Like I was cussing him out. Chris was driving me crazy, right? Like he was driving me crazy, and so. But like, so it's not a thing where it's like, oh, there's no, you don't get in any trouble. You don't,
absolutely.
Nah, like, but I got your back. And I know you try. And maybe that too, because I know that he tries. Right?
Yeah, you see the effort.
Yes.
You see the effort.
That's exactly what it is.
Ambition.
Yes.
Yeah,
and so it's like, I don't know why it's not. And it's crazy because the things that he wants the most that he feels like God is, that's his purpose. That's the reason not seeing any success. He put some little crappy song on SoundCloud and it's got 10,000 plays.
Viral.
And I'm like, what is this trash? And he's like, people like it. You know what I'm saying? He's like this fashion thing. He's talking to us this morning, like everybody knows him. He can't go to Atlanta. Everybody, they love the way he dresses. They ask him to rate his fits and all this stuff. And it's just like, it's a thing, right?
He's gonna be powerful.
Yeah, he is. He's
gonna be powerful.
But it's the way he presents, and then when he sits you down and you having a bit, like one of his friends recently, he's great. One of his friends recently, he was saying was like having a hard time, and this guy's like pretty prominent in the city for his music, like kind of a big deal. And so he met Chris, and he was like, just kind of having a hard time with life. And he was like, that's because you ain't got God. He done led this man to Christ. My little dreadhead boy? Not dreads locks. But I know that's who he is also.
Yes, absolutely.
Like, I know he's going to make this little weirdo music. But like, you really out here just trying to he'll tell everybody he a virgin. He don't care about that. Like, no, I'm good. I'm good on it. You know what I'm saying?
Have a great testimony.
That's why you can't keep a woman. Can y'all get y'all little daughters in check? For real, Chris dates a lot. Maybe I shouldn't say it. He doesn't date that much. Oh my God.
I think he don't date a lot. Don't do him like that.
I don't want to say it, baby.
But
he
if he did, then that's fine. So he would be upset because there's, it's levels to it. It's a whole.
Yeah,
then okay.
Like, who you going out with, Mom? Please. Yeah. Okay, so he doesn't date at all. He's in the house in his Bible. But he be out here. And then I'm like, what happened to her? I wouldn't sleep with her.
Yeah.
That is mad weird. And like he's dating these women, he's spending his money on these women. He is treating them well. And it's just like, it gets to the point where they want to have sex. He's like, I'm good on it. His last little girlfriend he had, that he did a whole, asked to be my girlfriend on the Ferris wheel thing. Yeah, he's great. He's fantastic. She broke up with him because he couldn't spend the night with her. He was like, can I come stay with you when my mom put me out? Because that's what's going to happen. Yeah. Like, look, you grown.
Yeah.
I don't care if Chris having sex with anybody because that's between him and God. But what you not going to do is go and think you going to spend the night out and get to come back here when you don't pay no rent. You better find somewhere to stay. So that's me. And so she's like, well, you think too much. You care too much about what your mom thinks. He's like, I need to have a place to live. You sound crazy.
Very smart. Very wise.
You guys,
very wise.
I beat Kennedy upside her head if I found out she was begging a dude to sleep with her, a dude who was like, no, I'm good on it. But I want to take you out. But I want to buy you things. But I want to pray with you. But I just want to wake up to you in the mornings. You're 20 years old. You're 20 years old. You're trying to get pregnant and I'll kill everybody.
This world is moving so fast.
Like you trying to make a baby. Anyway, so yes.
Wow.
I'm going to get off topic.
No, listen, it's been great. This has been a great story.
Can you imagine Maya being like, I broke up with him because he wouldn't have sex with me?
Maya wouldn't dare.
Like, that's
for real. Like, I don't even know that that's a thing.
Like she would be so happy. Like, this dude not trying to have sex with me. Yes, and he bought me a bag.
Exactly.
Like,
I don't know what the world is turning to when it comes to
mad weird.
This younger generation.
It's just
definitely moving pretty fast.
But can y'all just leave my son alone? You girls, little girls, just leave him alone.
Well, don't say that.
No, for real.
Well,
It's because let me tell you this too. Chris is really nice. So one little girl was
Chris
like,
has to experience it all. He has to experience.
I want them to leave him alone because their feelings get hurt. No,
well, that's a part of life too.
No,
that you will get in a situation or date someone where your feelings are going to get hurt. That's only natural.
I don't like it. I don't like it for them.
No, you don't.
And Chris be telling me, I'm like, can you just stay with her?
It's gonna make them stronger.
Her feelings.
It's gonna make us.
I don't like that. I don't like that at all.
Yeah, naturally, yeah.
No.
You shouldn't like it. I wouldn't like it either.
No.
But
and he's not even nasty, but it's just like you want what you want. I just like.
There are females out here that, of course,
Chris feelings be getting hurt
real
too.
Ratchet and don't care, being gold diggers and don't care about your feelings. Like Chris will run into that, and he needs to know that he's going to run into that, and he needs to be able to prepare himself for it.
Let me tell you
that.
something.
I'm trying to prepare my son, because I know that one day he might get his heart broken.
Well, don't be the heartbreaker. Chris, let me tell you something. Chris's heart gets broken because he be falling in love with these girls.
Quick, real quick.
Chris would be like, I think I met my wife, dog. Bro, it's not your wife, Chris. You've been on 3 dates. let's all relax here. She love God, dog. And if be the ones who love God, will be trying to sleep with them.
The worst ones. Dang.
like where is your mama? Where is your mama? Because I don't even hit my kids, but I might choke Kennedy out.
So when it comes to dating, I'm trying to think boy versus girl.
Mm-hmm. No difference for me.
There's no difference for you?
Mm-mm.
I don't know if there was there a difference for me? I could say that it didn't happen that way, but I could say that I would have allowed for my oldest son to date before my daughter.
No.
And no.
Same age, 16.
Like if my son came
to me
MJ was
born 13, yeah.
If my son came to me at 6th and 7th grade and said that he's dating somebody, I don't know if I would have did the same thing to him that I did to Amaya. Like, no, you cannot have a boyfriend.
Look at you, double standard.
Him. I know.
No.
And
nope.
I don't even know if I have a good rationale behind it, but dang. I just thought about that.
I don't think it's different at all. Mm-mm.
What about?
I said you could have a boyfriend or girlfriend at 13, but I didn't want any kissing until 16.
Okay, so 13 was like 6th, 7th grade, right?
8th grade.
8th grade, okay. And that's for all of them? Even Kennedy?
Even Kennedy, yeah. Kennedy didn't date in high school. Like, she went on a couple dates with a loser that I will fight. Her senior year, like right after she graduated, but she didn't really date in high school.
And Elijah didn't either.
Mm-hmm. So I didn't have that issue.
So I didn't even have the issue to even try to figure it out. Like, Elijah didn't start.
Elijah didn't really date in high school either.
Actually told me, because I was, trying to ask him, like, you're getting a little up there. You're in high school now. What's going on with girls? I don't need to date nobody. I can't afford them.
This is what I'm telling you.
I don't have no job to be.
That's right, because they want a lot. Mm-hmm.
I'm like, okay.
Yeah. Nope. I think that's fair.
Want a lot out here.
They want a lot, and that's what I tell. But that's so. I am my kid's mom, right? Mm-hmm. So I'm very materialistic. I don't even care about pretending about that. So I am like, unless you can do for her, like I want done for me. Please don't waste that girl time. Please don't waste her. Don't take her to Applebee's because I might fight you. There's nothing wrong with Applebee's.
I love Applebee's. I love Applebee's.
Oh, you know that
I do.
You do. You know that stresses me out.
I'll go there real quick. Me and Jalil, me and my youngest, we'll go in there and get a 2 for $20 real quick.
I went to Applebee's with my assistant the other day because I got out of court and I was like, I don't want to go back to the office and see anybody. I want to go to get some food.
Yeah.
She's like, I'm going to do a pickup from Applebee's, and I ate it. I was like, this tastes like poverty.
Oh my! I cannot.
What am I eating? I was so upset.
I cannot.
It was so bad.
I cannot.
You know, I have a thing about my food. Like,
I cannot relate.
You love Applebee's?
There were certain things on the menu. Of course, yeah, definitely. I will. I love their mozzarella sticks. I love their quesadillas. Yeah, I do. I eat it. Period.
I love you.
Yeah.
Never.
They have this burger chicken with
don't talk to
shrimp.
me.
With mashed potatoes.
You're eating shrimp? You're eating the seafood from Applebee's?
Yeah.
It doesn't bother you?
Girl.
Are you sick after?
I'll be good.
You can get 3 meals for $20 at Applebee's.
That's fine.
I love
Nothing wrong
you.
with that.
I am not okay. I don't eat at
That's
Applebee's.
wonderful. That's a great deal.
I mean, Chris takes these girls to like JJ's. And it's weird because I'm going to eat it like Chick-fil-A.
JJ the other day.
Yeah,
like,
I'm going to eat at Chick-fil-A. I'm going to eat it at, what's my favorite place? American Deli. Like, I'm going to eat at them little spots for sure.
I mean, if you eat there, you might as well go to Applebee's.
No. Because that's that little ghetto stuff and it tastes great.
But American Deli is ghetto.
Yeah, absolutely ghetto. And I lick my fingers when it's over. I need you to understand I'm a black girl from Decatur.
So you're a bougie ghetto. You bougie ghetto.
No, I'm not bougie. You know I hate that word. You know.
I know.
But I'm not eating at Applebee's. I'm also not eating at, what's the other thing for Applebee's?
TGI Fridays.
Stuff like
Chili's.
that. I'm not eating there.
Oh my goodness.
Mm-mm. The food there.
I don't eat at TGI Fridays or Chili's.
What's your favorite restaurant?
I can't even really say that I have one, honestly. I really can't. I really can't say I have a favorite. I'm be everywhere, and I don't think I have one.
Okay, cool. It's great for you.
Yeah.
Good for you. Well, all right. Thank y'all for joining us. Look, we get all over the place.
We do, guys.
Enjoy your Applebee's if you're eating Applebee's. It's like Victoria's Secrets. I hate Victoria's Secrets. Or Victoria's Secret.
I do. Followers as you're speaking. I just play.
I have a thing when they do that little semi-annual sale. I'm like, go get your little itchy bras. Have the bras gotten better at Victoria's Secret? Because them things is itchy.
I don't really shop at Victoria's Secret, honestly, either.
You don't?
I don't. But I ain't gonna say I don't like them.
I do like Victoria's Secrets. If you'd like to sponsor us, I'll put on a bra.
I'll put it on. I'll put it on for sure. Okay? What you need me to do? Okay?
All right, y'all. Don't tell the Will like they stuff. You know they ain't watching. We love y'all. See y'all later.
Peace.